I'm gonna make sure it's going. All right, we are live. Welcome to the Out of the Draft podcast. We have the full panel here. We have myself, Dylan, and Damon, Mitchell, and DCD, aka Stat Boy, aka Dylan, as well. First off, how y'all doing?
What's up? Doing good. Glad to be here.
Yeah,
Not
me
too
too.
bad.
Me too. Me too. I like that shirt you got on.
Thanks. It's the Hooters one.
It's trash.
How you doing though? You okay?
Good? Yeah.
No, DCD, you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing on.
Just making sure. Sorry to start off really late. It was all my fault. My setup, everything. It just was lagging really bad. Is that apple juice?
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, is that a brewski? And I was like, wait, you're not.
no. It's
You're 12.
usually it's tea, but not this time.
But yeah. Anyways, we missed last week. Sorry, I was sick. As you can hear it in my voice, still, I'm still draining. Sorry, that was just I could have started the podcast, but I just felt like it wasn't gonna be good. I didn't think I was gonna have enough energy. And I just didn't want to let y'all down, so I apologize on that. But anyways, let's talk about Daytona a little bit.
Yeah.
Mitch, you got anything special you want to talk about for it?
Not really. I kind of missed pretty much the whole weekend.
Me too.
I saw like the last 30 of the 500, so I'm sure you guys got some information before that point.
So I watched the whole 500, but like the rest of the weekend, I was kind of. Well, first off, Zane Smith won a rain short race at the truck race. Austin Hill won another Daytona race with a caution flying and Sam Smear flipping. That's much I want to talk about for those two races, just because we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But I will say, so just FYI, that's how the season started for those two series. The Daytona 500, we knew that the Fords are going to be fast, just leading into the event, just with the duels and the way practices went.
Right.
And the Fords were quite quick. I think stage one, Brad won, right? The stage.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they were just. I think they swept 1 through 7 positions, right? Something like that. It was crazy in the stage.
I think so. Yeah, like 1 through 5 or 1 through 6, something like that.
That's nuts. But congrats to them for that. And then who won stage 2? Was it Truex?
Ross. It was Ross.
Ross. Oh, okay. How did he win? Do you remember?
No, I do not know.
Yeah.
What's the finish line?
Did you just say finish line first? I'm pissed if you said that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that one.
He crossed it first on that specific lap.
Wow.
Oh,
That works.
Thank you. I'm glad. I don't know who all. Okay, did the first wreck happen before the stage 2 or after stage 2?
I think it was before.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one with Harvick bumping the 54. Or no, the 45.
Yeah. That was in stage 2. Yep.
Okay.
So he bumped the 45. 45 went spinning. Guys like Blaney was in it.
Blaney, Chase.
I remember that wreck. I don't remember all who was in it. But
Well,
that happened.
I remember Chase being out really early. Well, with that wreck, because for some reason his spotter said you're clear, and so he gassed it, and all of a sudden you see Eric Jones just back right into his front bumper, and I was like, "That's the most dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life." Anyways, but that was just honestly, I thought Reddick had a problem going into the corner, but it was just a bump from Harvick, which it didn't look like it was a bump that would have sent the car out of control, but that's just me.
It definitely looked like he was loose before he even got to him.
Yeah.
Like he was. It was like he packed the air, and then Harvick definitely hit him. But I think he was already going to lose it at that point.
Yeah, which is really odd. I mean, Reddick's not the type of guy to just lose the car, so I really think there was something wrong with the car. They just don't want to tell you, just because like it could have been something that they were trying and it didn't work or whatever. But I don't understand why you wouldn't say, yeah, something broke. But the way the car, literally the back straightaway, that it was slow. Like, the car was slow. I don't know. I don't understand, but it is what it is, I guess. That took out a lot of contenders. During this time, I do want to give a shout out to, Jimmy Johnson at the time. He was running really well. Like, he was surprising me, honestly. I did not expect, like, a top 10 running all day type of thing. But he was in the bottom lane, always pushing, like, the third or fourth car in line, which was surprising because he hasn't been in one of these vehicles. Especially with this package, it's very difficult to pass on the super speedways. It's kind of, as soon as you get 2 lanes, you kind of you're stuck unless your lane continues to go.
Right.
But I was impressed with that. Like you said, Ross won stage 2. What is that? It until like the last 30 laps.
I'm gonna be honest. I do not remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember much of that race.
I do know that there was a big crash leading up to with 30 to go with that green flag pit stop or something. Like afterwards,
Yeah.
when they grew backed up.
Yeah, I remember. I think I started watching, and it was probably about 50 to go or so, and they were still under the green flag. And I think they had already all came down. They had already all pitted.
Yeah.
And they were coming back out and regrouping and so forth, and it stemmed from all of that. But I think that caution was
it was Briscoe.
24 to go or something like that around there.
The Fords all checked up on the outside, and then they.
Yep, exactly.
Okay,
It was the one that took out all the Fords.
And that's where I do want to give Denny in his podcast a shout out. So he was talking about this and what happened with the Fords, and why the Chevy won the race versus a Ford or a Toyota, just because of the way they did their homework and their strategy, because they pitted before everybody, and so that got them away from all the craziness and chaos because they couldn't get lined up, and so that's what jumped Stenhouse in from the 20s all the way to 7th. That's what got him in the position to win.
Wow.
Because like Denny said, as soon as you got it back in the 20s, you couldn't pass.
Right.
And he said this is what happens when you do manufacture pitting and manufacturer working together throughout the race. When one of you wreck, you're all going to wreck, because there's no parity in the field.
Right.
It's either going to be Chevys, Fords, or Toyotas. You're not going to there's no Ford pushing a Toyota, there's no Ford pushing a Chevy, just because they all want to work together because the OEMs just make you. And so he was explaining that the Fords, because of that's the reason why they lost, is because they all work together. And which was interesting. I just thought that was.
I mean, I agree with it, and it makes sense that if you're all grouped up together, if you wreck, it's going to take you all out. That's just the way it is because you're all together. It's part of the game if you want to play it that way,
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know who it all really took out though. I couldn't remember. Like I said, it was 2 weeks ago. Dude. I have no idea.
Yeah, and I know that one took out Harvick, Briscoe.
It did take out Harvick.
A few others. Yeah, that was the one that took out Harvick.
Harvick,
A few others.
Briscoe,
Who was the first to spin?
McDowell.
I think it was a 10.
10.
I don't even know.
Oh, yeah, I remember that
It
right
was
now.
going
Okay.
into 1. Whatever it was, they were coming
going
up
into
on,
one.
They were coming up on, I guess, the
Yep.
group of Toyotas that just got on pit road. I think that's what
I thought it was the Chevys, and Kyle Busch went up to block them on the high side, and it got them all back, and everybody was pushing everybody. I think Almirola or Briscoe got into Almirola, and it just caused the shit show.
Yeah.
I remember that now. I don't remember exactly who was all in it, but I remember how it started.
Yeah.
And then that set us up for a crazy, weird, 15 laps to go run. There was a mess that happened right in the center of the field. It checked the whole field up, and then so you had 2 different packs. You had the top 10 cars that was in a line that wouldn't move. Then you had the top the last 15 cars that was just jockeying for position. That was the whole time. But if they would have just gotten line, they would have caught the other pack, I think. Just
I
because
agree.
they still would have had their draft, even so far back, they still would have sniffed at each straightaway.
Right.
Hey, that is what it is. I know. It is what it is. And then, of course, you had Suarez, his caution that.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, what even happened with that? Did he just have a flat there on exit or what?
I think he probably got loose.
Yeah, I think he got loose. Which, they called the caution before he was even spinning.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, it was a caution because he got stuck in the grass. I will say that.
I thought he kept going on the pit road.
No, he got stuck in the grass.
Oh, okay.
But they called the caution immediately. Like, they didn't even.
Yeah, literally. They were ready
even
for
let
it.
him hit the wall.
Yeah.
They wanted the drama.
Yeah, they wanted the drama. And then Kyle Busch said on the radio, because he was leading at the time, he was like, if this is 1998, we'd be winners right now, boys.
Yeah.
I was like, that's funny. Which, I mean, that's just...
He definitely seemed a little pissed off even after the race about it.
He was...
I mean, like, how many races have you won that's happened, you know?
Yeah,
He's also lost a lot that way, but still, you know.
It's just funny. And then, of course, so then they lined up with the green and white checkered. You had the 8 take the outside, the 3 take the bottom, and they were going to do the team like, you know, get in front of, push, which is weird because now you have the choose code. So why choose that, right?
All right, you can just line up that way.
Yes.
They probably wanted to back the top side up, maybe.
I mean, yeah, but why do you get in front of the 3 though? Why don't you just stay in both lines and you be side by side, right?
See, I mean, I agree with that because I think that sets yourself up for optimum ability to lock up and push. But the problem is, if you do that, you're also allowing the outside the same opportunity to be able to lock up and push.
Well, no, I'm saying like do what you did on the restart, but like don't go in front of your teammate.
Oh, just stay up top. So stay side by side.
Yeah,
Try and make an RCR race.
You can't go through wide with this car. Like, like if you stay.
I agree.
If you stay side by side, you're winning the race.
I agree. Yeah, I'm a little surprised that they didn't also try that. I thought that's what Austin was gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was the key thing that to me was going to be the number one factor that wins the race.
I agree because either way, even if one line happens to go a lot better than the other, at least there's still an RCR car out front and
bingo,
maybe potentially going to win the race. I agree. I think that's
I had a feeling they were going to do
better way they looked at it, but I feel like I don't know. Maybe they just felt like their teamwork was going to work a little bit better than what it did.
Yeah, and then of course it caused like a huge wreck because as soon as they got to the backstretch,
they all got boggled.
Shout out Austin Dillon.
Yeah, Austin Dillon got loose, and then William hit him, and it just
went to chaos.
And then Ricky Stenhouse just won it.
Yeah, in the midst of all that, decided to turn left and edged him out.
Yeah, I mean, he got the push from Larson on the outside. And then passed Logano. And then that when the caution came out, he was the leader.
You got no. There was another caution after that with Pastrana.
No. Yeah, I'm saying like to set up for the next restart. Like he was the.
Oh, leader. I thought you guys were talking about like that caution or like okay, I got you.
And then of course we had the green white checkered, another one, and then they push, whatever. And they pushed the 47 all the way out. And so the 2 lines were going to get a big run. So the 5 and I think the 22 was on the 22 was on the outside.
Yeah, 22, yeah.
And he was getting a big push. So the 5, instead of pushing the 47, which in my opinion probably would have been the smartest thing at the time, he goes to the middle, and the 20 doesn't go with him. I mean, why? Because the 47, if you go with the 5, you're going to make the 47 block your lane, cause a huge wreck in front of the field. If you don't go with the 5, you stay straight and hope the 47 blocks that and makes a wreck, and then you go through it, right? Like that's your hope. So I don't know why Larson chose the middle. I guess he thought he would have had a big enough run, but
I agree. I was a little surprised with him going to the center there. And I mean, he did have a decent run there, but with the no help working out, it obviously made it stall out completely.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think he would have just been better off just pushing the 47, probably getting him through and past that outside line, trying to make a move going down the back. But I don't know. I guess you live, you learn.
And then Ricky Stenhouse isn't Ricky Stenhouse anymore. He's a Daytona 500 champion.
He'll be in the Hall of Fame now.
Yeah.
Well, I doubt it. That is now. If you win a second one, that's Hall of Fame worthy.
At the same time, realistically, number-wise, it's a 2-time Xfinity Series champion, now a Daytona 500 champion. That's not bad.
He'll sneak a Cup championship in there too.
Oh yeah.
I doubt that, but I mean, if he racks up maybe 10 more wins,
colleague, AJ's teammate, 3 road course wins.
Crazy.
I think I got it.
It'll happen.
All right. Well, anyways, yeah, Ricky Stenhouse, of course, wins the 500. Now we move to AUTOCLUB. This is going to be AUTOCLUB's last race that they went to last weekend.
With this configuration.
Yes, and maybe ever, depending on what happens with the whole ordeal.
The land, right.
That was a lot to take in over the weekend because we thought they had a plan. Now they don't have a plan. But somehow they just got $400 million that they can just decide whatever to do with. So, I mean, I think it's a win in NASCAR's book no matter how they slice it. It's just, is it a win for the fans, right? Like, in my opinion, AUTOCLUB was starting to become one of the best racetracks that they go to when it comes to, not a short track, right?
I agree.
Just because you had so many options, so many lanes, tires fall off massively. Drivers have to. I mean, you think of the people that are good there, right? Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson, those type of people. Kevin Harvick, I would almost miss him. Those 3 drivers are like the GOATs of this era, right? Like, right? They dominate it. And so, it's a driver's racetrack. It really is.
I agree. I think it's a shame. I think it's a mistake from NASCAR's part. I'm not saying don't add in more short tracks and so forth like that. I think that's a need. But I don't think pulling AUTOCLUB is what the answer was. I do agree that I think that's one of the better racetracks that we go to that's above a mile and a half, I'd say. I mean, as we saw all weekend, even with a green racetrack, fresh after a whole fresh day of rain, green racetrack,
and snow.
We see hand snow, fresh after snow, rain, sleet, everything. Fresh green racetrack. They go out there and from turn 1 are top to bottom, and continue to be top to bottom the entire race. There's no other track that we go to that's like that. I think not even Michigan. And Michigan is a lot like AUTOCLUB, but surface is a lot different there, of course. But I think it's a mistake. I think it's a very unique track, the way it drives, the way you have to drive it. Just like you mentioned, tire wear is wear. I feel like they're constantly chasing and looking for grip. You can't drive the car the same way from one corner to the next. You're constantly going anywhere. I don't know. I think it's a mistake. I think was one of the best tracks, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think the only thing with that track is, I think most of this next gen car fits like perfectly, like even the commentators or announcers said. I think it fits very good, but the track's so old, it's gonna start. You can't just keep filling it in. It's gonna start like just breaking apart like other tracks have. So I think even if they repaved it, I feel like they'd still have one hell of a track just
right
as it is now.
I agree. Eventually it would come to the point of needing a repave, and it would be a little rough. Oh, excuse me, for 3, 4, maybe 5 years before it would really start to come in. But even with a fresh repave, I don't think it'd be a bad race. I mean, yeah, they'd be freaking cruising around there,
Yeah.
But I mean, it'd be decent. And then once that track would start to wear out, which I think would be fairly quick over on that West Coast, a lot of sand out there, a lot more heat. Put a little bit extra wear into that track a little bit quicker. I feel like in no time it would race just as good.
And maybe give it 2 races per year for a couple years. Try to break it in.
Right. Try and break it even quicker. Right.
Because that's a market that NASCAR literally is dying to be in, right? Like Southern California.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Why not have multiple races out there? We can have a unique 2 mile.
And I don't know why we got a way of not having 2 races out there, just because it was not even early 2010s, right? Like it was not a bad track. Like,
no.
Like I think of, I mean, obviously, 2011, one of the best finishes ever. 2013, one of the best finishes ever. 2014, another great finish. And then, of course, the 17 through 19 was kind of weird just because, it was very dominated, whatever. But 2020 was a great race. I mean, Alex Bowman, obviously, but every time he wins a racetrack, it disappears. So,
yeah.
Like, please, for the love of
God. This one fought, though. This one fought for it. Yeah, this one
fought, but for the love of God, please win it, like...
He won
New
Richmond.
Hampshire. Like, somewhere stupid, right? Like, I mean...
Instead, Almirola wins there.
God. I like New Hampshire. Don't diss New Hampshire.
I know, I agree. I like New Hampshire.
I'm glad. I was about to say, if Kentucky was still on the schedule, get that track. But it's gone, thank God. That track is...
I will say the next gen would have made Kentucky look awesome.
I agree.
Put the PJ1 all the way on the wall, too. Possibly that could have been fun.
Stuff. I can't stand that PJ1.
I was hearing Hamlin talk about it a lot because I was watching Hamlin's podcast and they were talking about what race is now going to go in for Auto Club. They were talking a lot that it's looking more and more likely it's going to be the Coliseum, which if it is, that's absolutely fucking horrible.
No, yeah. Denny was like, I'm so disappointed if I hear that ever again. Like,
oh yeah,
he was so pissed because he was a big advocate of making sure it's not a points race. Like, remember his like sarcastic remarks when he was like, "No, I think we should make it a playoff race." Like,
he hates that, and he did say, I mean, that's why I brought up the PJ1. He said if they're gonna have a points race there, which they absolutely shouldn't, put PJ1 on the top because the reason they kept bumping into each other there is everybody's going from the bottom and cutting each other off. Yeah. I fuck the Clash, but yeah.
No, yeah. I going back to that on top of losing Auto Club, right? If the Clash specifically at the Coliseum with that configuration is what replaces it, I don't think that's a win. I do not think that's a win in any situation.
Well, even like they're saying, if it's just 1 or 2 years, why replace it? Like what?
Exactly. Why not just keep running there?
Like,
well, you can't do that because if they're reconfiguring it, they're gonna need more than.
No. I mean, like, why go out to Southern California? Like, I mean, look,
Sonoma.
Yeah, I mean, I want that, but I know that NASCAR doesn't. So, I mean, here's my thoughts. If you look at the ratings in the top 5, we haven't got to who won this weekend, but that's beside the point. The top 5 like areas is still the Southeast, right? Like that's where all your fans are. I know you want to go to that market, and there's fans out there, right? But I'm sorry, 1 or 2 years, they're not gonna lose interest, right?
Yeah.
Go to somewhere that that you're gonna gain viewership in a sense of the Southeast, right? Go somewhere where you're actually gonna make money off of it. I mean, who cares if you run Daytona twice in a week, run the road course right after it? That's fine, whatever. Just eliminate another road course. Like, don't add another one to the schedule. But like,
just that AJ can have 3 wins.
But don't. NASCAR would be stupid to make the Coliseum. Honestly, I think I would not watch it on purpose just to make the ratings worse. Like, because the moment we watch it, the moment they're going to be like, oh, it was great.
Win.
Yeah, we win. Right? And I'm not even trying to make the sport lose or anything like that.
No, right. But that's not a win.
Just lose that racetrack.
Yeah,
right.
At that
please.
point.
But you know, people are gonna tune in just because it's racing. That's just natural. But like, and plus, it's right after if it's right after the 500, you're really gonna have a lot of viewers because that's the second race of the season.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, here we go. Well, this is it. We're gonna make it the final race of the year. Final Four is gonna be here.
See, the thing is that's even worse about it is it wasn't even racing. You know, it was just it was worse than watching a truck race, which I'm currently watching right now. I'm watching a truck race rerun. But
I love truck races. They're good.
Sometimes.
I like mile and a half truck races.
That's what I'm watching. Vegas last year. But sometimes, you know, we see like what we saw at the Coliseum, and that was just horrendous. That's not racing. And I think if they're considering, like in my mind, if you're considering that over what we just watched all weekend, you're crazy. You know?
Or even go ahead.
Is it possible that if North Wilkesboro does pretty good this year, like just do North Wilkesboro next couple of years?
I wouldn't mind that. That'd be great. That's a win. That's a win.
Hey,
anything but the Coliseum, bro.
Right can I promote like Steve
I like getting paid.
O'Donnell, please, for the love of God.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah, see, that's a win.
Listen, so
I still don't want to give up AUTOCLUB, but that's at least better than the Clash.
We swap Sonoma's date, go to Green Sonoma now. And then we go to North Wilkesboro at Sonoma's date in the summer.
Thank you.
I'm not mad with that. That's fine.
That's a perfect idea. For one,
if it rains, it's a damn road course.
We deserve a Green Sonoma. Like, it is so beautiful.
You know where we should have the Clash?
Where?
Stafford. That's a Clash track right there.
Okay.
Or Slinger. Fuck it. Throw them on Slinger.
Put them on Eldora.
Daytona Beach.
They want to have a short track that's got some bacon with some beating and banging. Slinger will put on a show.
You know, honestly, I really think that they would drive so. I think that they would drive really well on that track. I do, just because.
Probably.
Just because of how much G-force is in the corner, and like
I think Xfinity would drive really well as well.
But anyways, well, I guess we'll talk about the race weekend.
Yeah, we've been just kind of beating around the bush the whole time.
I mean,
it was a good race.
Bushes.
Yeah, speaking of beating around the bush, Kyle Busch hit the field. All right, let me tell you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's just talk about Kyle Busch for a second, right? Can we give appreciation to the most hated driver in NASCAR, just for 1 second? 61 wins. And
19 straight seasons. 19 straight seasons. Which is a new record.
It is a new record.
Beat Petty.
He beat Petty. He actually still has beat Petty in the most NASCAR wins ever.
Yep.
I mean, the kid's up there, right? He's
his brother duo too.
Oh yeah, and
yeah.
They broke a lot this past.
I mean,
wow.
Kyle Busch leaves Joe Gibbs Racing in the dust. Like, now I know it's like race 2, but every race that he's competed in, he's could have won.
Oh yeah, he's been in position to win them.
Yes,
he's outperforming them by himself.
Yeah, the Clash was like right there in the picture.
Yep.
He was leading the duel until he got wrecked.
Yep.
The 500, he was leading at lap 200.
So he got wrecked.
And then he got wrecked. And then he wins the AUTOCLUB. All I gotta say is you put a fire under Kyle Busch, and this is what you do.
Oh yeah.
This is what you
do. It's incredible. You know, he's in a different breed.
KFB,
you know?
KFB. Kylie just put that in the chat.
It's facts, though. I mean, the numbers don't lie. You know.
I'm just saying, the last time Kyle Busch won at AUTOCLUB, he won the championship.
So I don't consider him my championship favorite yet, and then here's why. I know I just gave him so much.
You just sucked him so hard.
Yeah, I know. I was like, because eventually it's gonna fall. Right? Like I'm just afraid it's too early.
Agree.
In a sense, for him to dominate like this. But I could see like the next couple races he just wins some stages, and then after the Coke starts, he starts winning again. I could see that.
I mean, I agree, but at the same time,
Yeah.
we've seen a
Shit.
bunch of times within the past 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years where someone changes teams and goes and kills it over and over and over. We've seen it a bunch. We've seen Harvick do it. We've seen
Larson
did it most recently, right? I'm thinking of one more, right?
Joey Logano, 2013. They moved from Joe Gibbs to Penske.
Yeah.
Every time you leave Joe Gibbs, you get better. That's all I gotta say.
Kenseth did really good his year. He went to Kenseth or Joe Gibbs.
He went to Kenseth.
Kenseth. So anyway, what I'm saying though is we have seen that type of trend in the past where something like that could happen. You know, we could see him not necessarily even still dominate, but just be on a heater of a season. You know, killing it.
Yeah, I could see 6 wins. That's it.
I could see it.
I had 3 road course wins in there.
No, that's an Allmendinger. Come on now.
Yeah, that's Allmendinger thing for me.
Clown.
Well, I do want to talk about the races just a little bit, just because. So Raj Chastain won both the stages. We're 30 minutes in, so I'm gonna say this really fast, and then y'all can say whatever you want. And then of course we had a Toyota overheating again with Bubba, with the same racetrack a year later with the new car, and you still have the same problem with the overheating issues. And then we had a lot of, because it was a very green racetrack, there was a lot of dust that was hitting the splitter and making the splitters actually departure from the actual paint scheme itself. And you actually had some people of the wrap of the paint scheme was coming off of their cars. So, I mean, that was an issue because of how green the racetrack was. But also it's kind of exciting to hear that, too. Just because it was something different that we've never heard before. Because that every time you watch NASCAR, strategy, who's got speed, comers, goers, the normal stuff. But when you hear new stuff, it just makes a fan excited again. So I thought it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all can talk if y'all want.
So, I mean, I agree. I didn't see much of the race. I only got to see, like I said, I think the last 35, something like that, laps, something like that. It wasn't too bad though. It seemed fairly calm from what I saw. It was mainly just Kyle just driving away.
It felt longer than it was, honestly.
Oh, big wreck. Sorry. On the race I'm watching. It's actually Todd Bodine. Trash.
But leading into AutoClub changed it to a short track. I know. Well, have y'all listened to Dale Jr.'s podcast this week on Tuesday?
No.
He talked about the diameter of the track and what they're trying to do. And he talked about he's trying to tell them to get iRacing to help them design the track before they actually do it, and have drivers race on it, simulate it, and have the drivers tell them what's good and what's bad, right?
Right.
So they still want to use the front stretch of AutoClub, not the whole front stretch. Obviously, that just wouldn't work. But they still want to use the front stretch and not leave it alone. And they wanted to bring the corner of 1 and 2 into pit road. And then go down pit road and then come back up on turn 1 and 2. But their issue was that the corner would be way too tight to even turn like that. Especially if you leave the banking on the front stretch.
Right.
And so I think it was good to hear that Dale Jr. is trying to give them advice. I don't know if they're going to take it. I mean, they don't really care. I'm sure they just want money, and it's realistic. They're a business, but hopefully they take the advice. Hopefully they get people that are good at sim racing. I don't want obviously you want Kyle Busch to be vocal, but if Kyle Busch is not good at sim racing, he wouldn't understand what's going to be good, right? Like, does that make sense?
Right.
So I'm thinking, Willie B would be good. Even get some Coke drivers to go look
Timmy
at it.
Hill.
Just because, they're professional NASCAR drivers. So, like,
Right.
to get their say and to see what they have to think about it would be cool. I don't know.
I agree. I mean, they have the opportunity with a lot of resources to try and do it the right way, and hopefully they take it.
Yeah, I hope so.
NASCAR and listening to other drivers and fans. Nah, come on.
Yeah, would they? No.
Yeah, see, that's the problem with it. They haven't done it in the past. So I think we're going to probably end up with another Texas situation.
God, that track is so ass.
I honestly, I do give NASCAR, since NASCAR owns AUTOCLUB, I think it could be different, right? So
I'll be right back.
It could give them a leeway to be able to be flexible with their decisions, because there isn't a timeline that they have to meet, right? And plus they're in California, so that doesn't mean that they have to race the second race of the year, right? So let's say if it does take until 2025, that doesn't mean it don't run in 2025. That means that they'll run, later on in the season, right?
Right.
So they don't have to be 2 years without the racetrack. They can just be a year and then just wait till later on in the season to run. So I think they can be really picky on their decision making, and hopefully they are, because I mean, with the short tracks package that we have, last year that was terrible in the sense of they couldn't pass. I mean, it's just
right.
I mean, obviously you had comers and goers. I mean, that's just natural in racing, but eventually the dirty air was a big thing at Bristol. I mean, that shouldn't happen.
Right.
So
that Martinsville night race, the spring night race, was probably the worst race I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Yeah, that was awful.
That race was tragic.
Like even in 10th, you couldn't pass. Like it was that.
Yeah, after the restart, it was single file. I don't think it was horrendous.
I'm trying to look for the short track package.
While you're doing that, I want to give some say out some people that had good runs at AUTOCLUB that were a little surprising. Stenhouse and LaJoy both had top 15 runs, which Stenhouse was up there, LaJoy both up there the whole race. LaJoy had a couple incidents, got into somebody, and then he spun himself but got back up there. RFK had a really good day. Keselowski probably could have got top 5 if he didn't scrub the wall last 5 laps.
I agree, yeah. He fell back to 9th or something like that?
No, I think he still finished 7th, but he was I think 5th, but then he hit the wall, and then he only got a couple of those spots back. Briscoe, I think, had a battery problem or electrical problem most of the race. That's why we saw him 34th in the first stage, lap down and 20 seconds behind BJ McLeod. But he managed to get a 20th, so I mean, yeah, silver lining. Harrison Burton got 15th, and McDowell with some strategy got 18th.
Yeah, McDowell, I think, really made the right call there, trying to stay out and really stretch it out there. I mean, obviously, a caution a little sooner would have helped him out a little bit better. Mm-hmm. But overall, the strategy paid off for him. He ended up finishing higher than what he was previously running, so it ended up working out. He gained a little bit of points out of it. And at the end of the day, for those types of guys, that's all they're really trying to do. They're just trying to scrape by and make a little extra points here and there to add up later in the season when they're potentially in a playoff bubble type of situation. That every point matters, and maybe they'll have the upper hand there if they can scrape by points whenever they can, just like that.
Yeah, I was very impressed with RFK because I feel last year they were mostly strong on the short tracks, like Richmond. Right. Busher almost won, and he, of course, won Bristol last year.
Right.
But seeing them good on a 2-mile track, and then they were good last week too. I mean, you got 1.5-mile, 2-mile tracks, you got restrictor plate tracks and short tracks. It's good to see them good there. And for Xfinity, I watched the Xfinity race. I don't know how many of you guys did, but I'll just
same. I was able to see the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just do a quick thing. That race was really entertaining. I think the people that were in the booth should be in the booth every single race together. They were perfect trio in my opinion. Alexander,
I agree.
Logano,
I think
Blaney.
they did good. I like Blaney personally, but I do think he's still a little bit in a shell almost. Sometimes I just feel like he's just watching, which is fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, we all are too. But I even Lauren, she had mentioned like, has the other guy even been talking?
Yeah.
And I was like, he chimes in a little bit here and there. But so aside from that, I mean, I think he does a great job, but I do think he should step up and speak just a little bit more here and there. But I agree, they are a good trio.
Even with that, you remember that Sheldon Creed spin, and he was trying to block Barry, and them got together.
Yep.
Just if that was Mike Joy, Clint Boyer, and whoever else they have feeling, I mean, it's no energy, but they were like, it made that exciting and how.
Oh yeah. Whenever it happened, and he's barreling toward the inside wall. Yeah, I think it was Logano, and he's Blaney's
Yeah,
so, whenever you hear them getting hyped up and excited like that, so you're like, shit, like he's about to pound it,
That was cool.
And I thought he was gonna,
Yeah.
So I know what you mean. You feed off of their energy, which is what they're made to do as well. They're supposed to paint the picture to you if you're not quite understanding whatever, and then also bring that level of excitement and stuff and reacting to whatever's being shown as well.
I like that. And Cole Costa, he swept the stages. There was a ton of strategy in stage 1 between what people were doing. Stage 2, I think Allgaier had to pit unscheduled. He pitted at the end of stage 1, and he said on the radio after the stage, there was only like 2 laps to go or whatever when they attacked. He started like 20th. He said he could have won the stage with the fresh tires, but he was only going like 50%. So that would have been entertaining to see if he could have or not. But
he was actually saying that he could have won the stage with the old tires if he stayed out.
Oh, I thought he was saying that.
But his crew chief had called him in. Yeah, he said that he wanted to run for the stage points, but his crew chief called him out.
I thought I heard something else. I thought he said he could have won the stage with the fresh tires, but he was saving. I know he was going like 50%. That's what the team told him to do. But
right, yeah, which is true too. But yeah.
Stage 2 was a very, very rough stage for Junior Motorsports. Custer ended up winning the stage, but to start the stage, Allgaier stayed out, got the lead, and he had to make an unscheduled pit stop. I think he went a lap down, while Brandon Jones was already a lap down. He was 2 down because he had a battery problem.
Yep.
I think he got one of those laps back before Allgaier pitted, and then Allgaier pitted, and he was out in front of him. And then there's a caution, and then Allgaier got it. Got the free pass, and then there was another caution a little later, and Brandon Jones got the free pass. And I think also Josh Berry, somewhere in the middle there, he wrecked, or he got the wall. He had a rough day, but I still think he managed to get like an 8th place or something like that. But Cole Costa did end up winning the stage. You saying something, Mitch?
Yeah, I think he ended up. Was that when he ended up putting Reddick in the wall during stage 2, or is that later on?
Yeah. Stage 2, I think that happened.
Okay, yeah. It was. I was a little shocked with that. Reddick running up on the top side off of 4, running the wall. And Barry comes off the bottom, just all the way up. Coming up, and just puts him in the wall like you wouldn't. I was like, bro, you literally came from the bottom. Like
that reminds me of Junior versus Johnson in Richmond in 2016. It wasn't really versus each other, but I think Junior didn't even see Johnson with fresh tires and absolutely clapped him. But stage 3. It's not important. In stage 3, a whole bunch of strategy. So Cole Custer, he stayed out to try to win the stage. Others pitted, so he restarted around 6th place. He couldn't really get his spots back. It was him and Nemechek were the 2 dominant cars without a doubt. And Cole Custer was back there, and so was John Hunter. And they were trying to get up to there, basically together before each other because they were the class of the fields. There's a caution, and then on a restart, Cole Custer. He did not know he had a blown tire going into 1. He said he didn't have it during the pace laps, and he went straight into the wall. The most dominant car went straight into the wall, and Austin Dillon hit him in the butt pretty hard.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah,
and that ruined Custer's race. Somehow Austin Dillon still had a shot late in the race.
I don't know how. But he made it work.
Then eventually John Hunter got in the lead. John Hunter was he had a lot of a lot of debris on his grill, like the whole freaking race. He kept giving up the lead to Sammy Smith and his teammate, letting him pass. And John Hunter Nemechek eventually won the race.
Why are you laughing?
Sammy Smith.
The fucking BRB.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Wait, I didn't hear what he said.
BRB.
The BRB,
Oh,
dog.
okay.
Yeah, I saw it too. I was like, all right.
That's-
Yeah. There was a lot of debris out there. I was honestly a little surprised that NASCAR didn't make an effort, a little bit more of an effort anyway, during the few cautions that we saw, to try and blow the track off. Because there was multiple times throughout the race where you would see them, in a line coming down the front straightaway or whatever, and you see all this trash and little plastic debris just flying all around.
Yeah.
And very visual, So, and of course, we also see it constantly on John Hunter's front end. What, 3 times I think he got debris?
Yeah, he got a lot.
In the last
I feel like it happened to no other car.
laps. Exactly.
Custer, when he was in the lead, he was fine. But
right. As far as we know, anyway. But so I don't know. I'm a little surprised that NASCAR didn't make maybe a little bit more of an effort to try and blow the track off a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they kept swapping it a lot because of that.
Yeah, like I said, Austin Dillon semi-late in the race. He stayed out, got off cycle, and he got a caution at the right time. He pitted. Everybody else already pitted, but the caution came out like 8 laps probably after most of the other guys pitted, at least. So everybody else went down, and then obviously he didn't stand a chance, and everybody's racing blew by him. But there's another restart, and I think the 2 crappiest cars were on the second row behind John Hunter, and it might have been Sam Mayer. It was Austin Dillon and some other, I'm pretty sure, beat-up car. But John Hunter ended up getting out there and pulled away, and Sam Mayer finished second. Some good runs by Chandler Smith. He got 4th. Austin Dillon managed to finish 8th. Parker Kligerman had a very good race, top 10 most of the day. I thought he was going to suck personally, but
I expected big things out of him whenever he signed that deal for them. I really thought that they could maybe sneak away with a lot of top 10s and then maybe at the right place sneak away a win or 2.
I just wasn't expecting them to be that good on a 2-mile power track, but he ended up being up there in the top 10 most of the day.
I wasn't too surprised about it, mainly with the the draft, but
you got that short track package done?
Yes. So NASCAR released a new aero package for short tracks and road courses, besides Bristol and Dover. So they'll be going everywhere besides Bristol and Dover, because this is the package that they will use for the wet tires, if need be. So it is the spoiler has moved from 4 inches to 2. And they're actually taking away some of the diffuser strakes on the back end, the diffuser skirt on the sides, and then there's engine panels at the front of the front wheels. Those are going away as well. So that'll create about 30% less downforce on the car, which is the most downforce off a vehicle since like the early 90s. Yeah. So teams, I'm trying to see where Bob. Oh yeah. So this is so the people ask like why not Bristol and Dover, of course. It's just because they don't want to use wet tires on those 2 tracks.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
And then that's really it. I think a lot of people like it, just because how much less downforce there is on the car. I think that's great. I don't know if this is what's going to change the package, like in a sense of I don't know if this is going to be the reason for the short tracks and the road courses to be better, but it definitely can't hurt it, right? Like it's definitely in the right direction.
I agree. Downforce wise, I like what I'm hearing. That sounds racy. Sounds like you'll be able to pass. Sounds like we'll see movement in the back. I like that. regarding the rain stuff, though, I don't know how I'm feeling about all that. Like, if need be, and if we get into that situation where rain comes,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about it if we're racing out there, but I guess we'll see.
I mean, obviously they can't race in pour down rain. Like that's just not gonna
Right,
happen.
right.
It'll be like if the track is wet, then they'll just race instead of having to wait for it to dry.
Right.
Yeah, I think this shows like how far NASCAR missed on the short track package last year. If they're making like that sounded like I don't know, but to me that sounded like a lot of changes. And
A lot of
but
good changes.
yeah, the drivers said they liked it. Right, Keselowski and Joey Logano both praised it. I think Stenhouse also praised it. So
It
as
sounds
long as
like
the
them
drivers,
cars are gonna be a handful.
The only driver that was very, I still want more, was Christopher Bell. He was very adamant of like, hey, we want more horsepower, right? Like yes, this doesn't this helps, but this doesn't fix it. And I don't think it's necessarily they need more horsepower. I think they need different gearing.
Right.
Because the moment you shift in a corner is the moment that you use that for momentum. You do that, that's going to be your determining factor of who has the best shifts, not who has the best handling car. Just because, that controls your momentum down the straightaway, where you pick up the throttle. But if you're always staying in fourth gear, then it's all about who can outbrake the other person, who can actually outrun the other person. And so I just think we need to be a little bit more strict on our gears. I think that's probably all it is. I think NASCAR needs to get a handle of it and not let the teams be so lenient, and so that they don't control their own, gearing in a sense of like, hey, you have to run fifth here all times, right? Like that's just, I think that'd be good, but that's just my opinion.
yeah, I feel like last year is mostly like short tracks. It all starts with exit corner speed, and I felt like that was so equal last year between all the cars. That's why we saw no passing it at Martinsville or stuff like that. And then you're so far back because it's equal and you can't gain anything on exit that you can't just dive in on the person. Going in because you're not close enough to do it because you're not gaining nothing every lap. You're just staying far behind. That's why I feel like it also wasn't a very stretched out race. The cars, I feel like at least in mid pack, like 7th to like 20th, were always like jam packed together, and only like the fast cars like Byron and Logano last year were like pulled away. At least more the Martinsville one that I saw.
Yeah, I would agree completely. But
Sheesh, man.
All in all, I really do like the, where this is going. This is great. I do think that, like I said, we're not getting more horsepower. No matter how much we bitch about it, we're not. That's just not where NASCAR wants to go.
Right. I do agree. I think it is also weird with the different gearing,
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was so weird the first time I at least noticed it. I don't remember whose in car we were, but I heard someone downshifting at Auto Club.
Yeah, it was hard.
And I was maybe, yeah, I don't know, but I was like, "Are we really downshifting here?" Like 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, that was not a thing. You're keeping that thing wound the hell up.
Yeah, nobody's shifting the third.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I don't know. It's just such a different way to race the tracks and the way to go about keeping your momentum up these days. And with this different gear box that we have now.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just different the way that they do things and interesting.
It is quite. What is next to talk about? Yeah, I do want to talk about the ratings real quick. Of not only, actually, I just want to talk about AUTOCLUB because, Daytona, yeah, we were down a little bit, but TV overall was down. For what, like TV's being on, So that's good to hear. Like it, and then we also were the most watched. Like if you had your TV on, most of those people were watching the 500. So that's good to hear. So it was definitely more of a just no one wants to buy for cable. That's just realistic.
Right.
I saw. Oh yeah, here's the ratings. Okay, and then for Auto Club, it was the most watched sporting event on TV overall this past weekend with a average of 4.3 million viewers on Fox. Thought it was the fourth. It was fourth in the 18 to 49 demographic. That's behind 2 NBA games and WWE. The top 5 markets were Charlotte, Greensboro, Indianapolis, Tampa, and Norfolk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so my point still stands. We're in the northeast. I mean, southeast. And most of those, besides Indianapolis.
Right.
So there you go. And then, but yeah, that's down from last year though, from 4.5 million viewers. So we only lost 200,000. But I just think from that percentage to the 500, it makes sense. It should have been the same, as long as if there's more people who had cable. So that's just my opinion on that.
Does this make it more likely? Because probably next 2 years, more people are going to go say screw cable. It's going to happen every year. So it's more likely for races to stream on, I don't know, Peacock or Amazon contract or something like that.
I can see something like that.
Yeah, I really think that we need to go to more than just being on one satellite, right? Like, I think we need to go to being on cable and a streaming service. So, like, but not the same streaming service as the cable service. That makes sense? So, like, for instance, like Fox.
I know what you mean.
We should not be on the Fox app. We should be on Fox and be on, Prime. Right? And so then you're getting 2 different types of viewerships, and you're combining that into one. And does that mean that you have to use the same analyst for each? For the love of God, I hope not. Because I would not watch Fox.
Yeah.
I would literally just turn it off and listen to like whoever's on Prime.
Radio.
Which, I mean, I
even with Harvick coming,
I think it's going to be really bad. I think Harvick's going to be okay, but I don't think he's going to help Mike Joy calling his historical facts about the sport that, for one, no new fan cares about. If I'm being honest. I love
we need Mike
Joy.
Breen.
Yeah, I love Mike Joy, right? But like, you're old. You have to get that.
So who would you rather replace Mike Joy?
At AA, Adam Alexander.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he has the energy of what the new fan wants.
I don't like Adam.
Oh, dude, I hated him for TNT, but I freaking love him now. That Xfinity race, like I'm saying, get that Xfinity race panel, get some Xfinity drivers in the booth, and it'll save you money too. Like Fox won't have to pay the commentators for being shit.
Hey, just make sure you wear your sponsor uniform, right? Like then they're getting money out of it.
Yeah.
But I mean I think you Boyer's got to go. That's for damn sure. Like, dude's supposed to be the color commentator, and when you call a wreck, going, oh, there goes Larson.
I saw this video of it was how Fox would call the Hail Melon. Then you just hear like just nothing.
Yeah, I'm like, what do you mean? There's a wreck. I mean,
with the top driver,
to be Dale Jr. and go a car in the wall. No, you don't have to do that. No, but you can
slide job.
No, you don't have to do that. But you can be like, oh, they're shooting off a turn 2. Like, explain the situation. Don't go, oh, they're wrecking. Like, are you scared to talk? Any other time you don't ever shut up. Like, I mean, if it's about Tony Stewart's car being sucking, Chase Briscoe being in 36. Oh, what's happening to your car, Tony? What's happening to your car? Like, that's all he did was just bug him the whole thing. I'm just like, dude, what are you talking about?
I feel like also more. Sorry to cut you off and do that, but also for more of like that, I feel like less and less all the time. I feel like they did a better job at Auto Club than they did last season, without a doubt. They usually never say like somebody in the top 5 will pit and you'll have no idea, like off schedule, and you'll have no idea unless you look at the scoreboard and see them down in 30th. Like they won't mention it.
Yeah.
They mentioned like same thing for Bristol. They mentioned him like once, like an actual like full out, like they mentioned him once. But they did like better with pit penalties that they would do last year. I feel like they did a lot better with that.
Yeah, every time there's a pit road like sequence.
When you always know when Hamlin's get his penalty.
Basically every
make
time.
Sure you know Hamlin gets his.
Yeah, because Mike Joy's like, oh, here comes Hamlin's 27th pit road speeding penalty this year.
Yeah, this race.
and then if Mike Joy doesn't say that, he'll say something about Larson. He is Larson's choker, dude. Let me tell you, I swear to God, Larson could like barely lose it off of 4. He's the best race car driver we've ever seen. That's what he'll do.
How did he say that?
Like, I'm like, what do you mean? He just got loose. Like, what I'm saying is Mike Joy in his prime and 2 years ago was phenomenal. Mike Joy now, he's great. He's not phenomenal. Right? He's good. I wouldn't say he's great.
You just sound like you want his job.
I do.
We could do better.
I personally know that I feel like I could do his job and be okay. Now, could I explain all the stories that he explains? Absolutely not. Could I not stutter? I may stutter. I mean, that's just realistic. But he is great for what he did, but not where he's at, right?
I think ever since DW left, as mad annoying as DW was, I feel like his last couple of years, right? He was good, and he brought that excitement to NASCAR. You don't get that. You get Clint Bowyer's stupidness.
That's what they thought Clint was going to be.
Yeah. I'm personally a little bit better okay than Bowyer, probably you guys are. But still, he doesn't bring that same excitement as like DW does.
Yeah, like
DW, in my opinion, just brought the same old thing. But it was just never new.
But it was exciting though. Like
you know how many times I've heard DW say, "Have you ever?"
No, no.
That later was like.
I just like it got to the point.
That was so good. You should have laughed way harder than that. That pissed me off. No.
I know. Honestly, it fit very well.
So good. I was like, dude, that was such a great joke.
I've heard it a lot. Like I swear, I've heard it on like a finish where like.
You heard it 7 times. I swear.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be like Kyle Busch won by like a second and a half. Have you ever? It's like, yeah, I've seen it like the last 3 weeks in a row. But like,
how much did he win by this time? Oh.
but
half a second.
You know who we're missing, right? And he's still with Fox, Larry Mack, right? His information when it comes to. He's also informationable. Is that even a word?
No, probably.
You know who I used to love though? Jeff Hammond.
Like
I used to love him.
And Hollywood Booth. Yeah, he's good.
The Hollywood Booth, I miss that so much. It's not the same.
Good.
It's not the same. Like it got you ready for a race. It got me ready. At least in my childhood.
Got me excited. Like Chris Myers actually was the voice of an angel.
I love Chris Myers too. I still love Chris Myers.
Same for Gridwalk. I miss that. Like it ain't the same anymore. Like he used to go up and down the whole damn thing. Now he talks like 2 drivers and talks to Quavo or some shit.
2 drivers and talks to Quavo.
Dude, that's so good.
You're not wrong.
He'll be like, "Sorry, Hamlin, I spilled a taco on your back windshield." Like,
you wanna touch?
Like what?
No, I agree. It's not the same for one, but not also is it not the same. It's just it's super cringy now watching it.
Yes.
It's super. I feel like it's mad
It's-
scripted. It's meant to try and sell things at this point. It's not just like a hey fun like let's go hop into these drivers' minds right before we hop, into like opening ceremony
It's
type
Yeah.
situation.
I mean,
It's not like
it's talking about their height. It's making fun of them. Like
Right.
They don't want to hear that stuff.
We're over here shaming them now. Oh, you're Asian. You're black. Why don't y'all
Okay.
fight? Like,
Okay. All right. That's off topic.
hey, we're at Vegas.
Too far.
We're going back to Vegas, so it fits.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah.
They fought last
I
time.
get what you mean. I get what you
They
mean.
fought last time.
Yeah, because
Oh.
large.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but it's just like I think my problem is we look at NBC, right? Like we look at their group. Rick Allen, terrible like lead commentator, but he still brings excitement to the booth in the way he presents it, right? I mean, he may say Ryan Newman in the 12. That's fine. I mean,
Ryan. Yeah.
I mean, you completely choke that. But, like, hey, at least you said it with your chest, right? Like,
I thought he retired.
Rick Allen. No. That's,
Or is it this year he's
no,
retiring?
it's, you're talking about Vince Welch. They did the truck series.
Yeah, Vince.
Yeah,
Because they said he
yeah.
sucked. They said he sucked.
Yeah.
I disagree on that.
You don't think he sucked?
No, he did the truck races, right? I thought he was fine. I thought he was
The
good.
guy who's
Better
like,
than Mike Joy.
The nail in the coffin.
I didn't watch a ton of truck races. When I did, I thought they were fine.
Vince Welch, he was okay, but it
Who
was
does
just
him now?
He was a great pit road reporter. Like, hands
I agree. He's a good pit road reporter, but even with that still being said, just some of his terminology and the way he said things was really weird. But anyway, what I was gonna say though, I just thought it was funny how salty he kind of was about it.
No, yeah,
He was kind of
all
like,
over
yeah,
social media about it. Yeah.
fuck y'all, I'm
does-
out.
Who does the truck races now? I know Michael
Hey,
Waltrip's
Zeus.
in it.
Jamie Little.
Jesus,
I thought she only did ARCA.
I know.
Jamie Little does pit road reporting.
And she does ARCA.
No. And
She
she's
does
doing half of the
trucks?
truck
Really?
season. Yeah.
Oh,
Lead
God.
Commentator.
For
Not
Fox,
to
or,
be-
well, it's only Fox.
Fox.
So
But trucks is Fox all year.
that's why I said it's only Fox.
Who else was going to do it then? Did she do it in Daytona?
Jesus.
I think she did. No. Yeah, she did.
I'm gonna.
I don't know.
I don't
see
think
it.
she did.
I
I
was
didn't-
watching Dirt Cars, so how would I know?
Anyways, we're off topic.
I'm shaking my head like, nah,
Yeah.
she wasn't there.
All right, you already get lucky or what?
Yeah, well, I think we're about to put our picks in. How do y'all feel?
Good. You want
I
to
gotta find who did this real quick. I don't believe you.
No, I don't want Thomas's picks.
You don't want Thomas's picks?
I'm
Man,
joking.
Jesus
No, I'm
Christ.
joking.
I don't.
Alright. He only gave me winners, so I'll just,
Okay,
I'll
no,
just
no,
go
no,
through
no,
the
no,
winners.
no.
Alright.
We'll do one at a time, and then when we get to the winner, we'll just say his pick.
Okay.
Just because,
Oh no, it's Phil.
Collins?
No, I don't.
You don't know who that is.
They said Phil. I didn't listen to the last name. Who
Collins.
did truck race? I don't think.
Collins?
Uh,
Are you talking about the no? Jamie
Collins.
Little's the lead though.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
Phil who? Dumpty?
Shut up for a second.
Phil
From Modern
Parsons?
Family? Dumpty?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, Phil Parsons.
Yeah, he's always in the truck booth with
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah.
Hold up. Pause.
Hold
Give me-
Well,
give me a
not
second.
anymore though. It's Kurt.
No,
No, it's not.
Kurt hasn't been doing
Right?
it. Mhm.
Kurt.
Not this year.
I'm pretty sure he was in the booth for Daytona.
Is he really?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember that. So long ago.
I don't know.
Picks.
Listen, I'm still talking like I know shit. I didn't watch
Yeah.
the race. I don't know.
Fuck it. Let's go to picks. I'm tired of this.
Let's go to picks.
It seems right to me.
All right.
Kurt was there.
So we're going to be, so we have all three series here at Vegas this weekend. So we have the Victoria's Voice Foundation 200 presented by Westgate Reports. The truck series is 134 laps, 201 miles. It's interesting. It's going to be airing, I think, Friday, March 3rd at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 6 p.m. their time. The weather looks good. It's going to be on FS1.
No snow?
No snow. We're good.
Good,
50s.
good.
Solid 50s. Who's going to suck? David?
Deegan.
Oh, Mitch?
Deegan.
I take Nicholas Sanchez.
What?
Stat boy.
I'm gonna go with Carson Hocevar.
Myself, I think I'm going Matt DiBenedetto this week.
That's who I had, but I just erased it and just put Sanchez.
All right. Who needs a good run this week, Mitch?
Nick Sanchez.
Fuck, who needs a good run? All of them, really, I guess. I don't know. Stat boy, you go.
Deegan. She had a fast car in his Xfinity. She needs the track.
Yeah, but no.
I'm going to say Daniel Dodd needs a good run after his terrible week at Daytona. I feel like that'll be a good setback for that team. Do you have a good run pick at all or no?
No.
Okay. Cody said his suck pick is Tyler Akram. And his good run pick is Roger Caruth.
That guy's still racing?
Yeah. He's in the...
Is he still in the 16?
Yep. And his good run is Roger Caruth. And then who's going to win? Who you got, Mitch?
Well, Thomas has Zane Smith.
Gotcha.
I could see that, maybe. My win, though, I got to go KFB. Chevy Strong. Truck Series, rebound.
Yeah, me too. KFB.
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 Wow! We have a 4-way panel sweep.
That's not gonna happen. Woo!
Remotely.
Cody said, "Who's gonna win?" I don't know if y'all ever watched the Nascar Weekly podcast, but Darian, every time they do the picks, he always says it. He picked Zane Smith to win for himself. So him and Thomas had some same idea there.
Whoa.
Right.
You want me to give the Xfinity stuff, or does someone else?
I got this.
Okay.
I got this.
Thank you.
All right. So the Xfinity Series will be at Las Vegas for the Osco Uniforms 300. It's 200 laps, 300 miles. Weather looks good, and the race will be at 4:30 on FS1 on March 4th, Saturday. Who is your guys' suck pick? We'll go with Dylan.
I'm gonna give this guy a suck pick, just because he I don't know why. I just think so. Brandon Jones.
That boy, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Cole Custer.
Mitchell?
You're retarded. Suck pick. I'm gonna go Brandon Jones.
I also have Brandon Jones as my suck pick.
That's good.
All right, who needs a good run, Dylan?
So this guy who's getting a really big opportunity with Joe Gibbs Racing this weekend, and I think Joe Graff Jr. needs a good run to see what he's got.
I was thinking about him. Stat boy, who you got? Was your suck
Brandon
pick?
Jones.
Needs a good run. Sorry, Mitchell.
I'm gonna go with someone that doesn't necessarily need it, but is gonna have a good run. And that's gonna be John Hunter Nemechek. I think he's gonna back up his win with like solid second, thirds all day.
Yeah, my needs a good run pick is also the same as my suck pick. I think Brandon Jones needs to have a good run. Needs to start showing what he's got, and his
He
third
ain't got
team.
nothing. He's talentless.
I do agree, but he needs a good run. All right, who's your win pick?
All right.
Before I go into that, Cody said his good run pick is Daniel Hemrick, and his win pick is John Hunter Nemechek. And who's gonna win? 2 for 2, Kyle Busch.
That boy. Oh, okay. Mitchell.
10 car.
I don't think Kyle Busch is going to go back to back and fucking Xfinity, so I have John Hunter Nemechek going back to back and Xfinity.
He did beat the boss here last time that we were here. It wasn't a truck race, but
Last time Kyle Busch ran all 3 races, he won all 3.
Mm-hmm.
And he's done it twice in his career.
Wait, when was the last time? No,
That's it?
That's not true.
He's done it more than twice, I believe.
No, he's only done it twice, 2 times at the same track at Bristol.
At Bristol, but
there's no way the last time he ran all 3 was at Bristol. That had to be. Yeah, no, that's not true.
Not at Bristol.
You said the last time he ran all 3 races, he won all 3. That's not true.
I think it's right.
No, because he's only swept the weekend 2 times, and that was both at Bristol.
Right, yeah, I know. Yeah, back in 2010, and then he did it back in 2017.
But he didn't win a Bristol race last year or 2 years ago if that was his last race.
No, I'm saying I think he was saying the last time he did all 3 races in the same weekend, that's what he won. Like those 3 races. I think that's what he was saying. But
I'm stuck. Okay, whatever. Move on. Okay.
I don't get it either, and I also don't agree.
I don't think it's true.
We're on the same page.
Yeah, I don't. Are you saying he won? Hold on. I gotta figure it out. All 3 races of the same weekend?
Yes.
Like Troy.
I thought he's done that at somewhere else, though, too, not just Bristol.
No, only Bristol.
Yeah, only Bristol twice.
You're crazy.
All right, where's Cup? Serious headed, guys.
I guess I'll do it. Cup is racing at the Big Fox at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The weather looks great, which is phenomenal. And then it is the Pennzoil 400 presented by Jiffy Lube. Who's gonna suck, Mitch?
Brad.
DC?
I'm gonna go with Chase Elliott.
I'm gonna go with Ryan Blaney.
Oh, I forgot to say, Thomas's Xfinity win is Josh Berry.
Okay, cool.
Sorry.
Cody's suck pick is Eric Amarola only because he hit the black cat at AUTOCLUB.
There's a cat?
Yeah, there's a cat.
Yeah.
Oh.
He hit it for real?
Yeah.
Did it explode?
Where are the cameras at?
Sandblasted.
Harvick almost hit a cat in Atlanta.
Yeah.
My suck pick is going to be someone who's actually the last person in points. Tyler Reddick. I think he's going to suck this week.
He's going to suck?
Mm-hmm.
That's not very thoughtful of you.
Yeah. Not. Who needs a good run, Mitch?
I'm going to go with Ryan Preece. I think it's a good track for him to be able to make something happen.
DC?
I'm gonna go with Tyler Reddick.
I also went with Tyler Reddick.
We got a lot of doubles this picks.
Cody went with Austin Dillon for a good run. And then who's gonna win? Who's
your need a good pick?
Yeah, sorry. Corey LaJoie, he needs a good back-to-back run. He was a top 15, last week. I think a top 20 would be really good for him.
He's also ahead of Chase in points right now.
He is. He's the GOAT.
I mean, Chase pretty much sucks, so why are we surprised? AJ's going to win 3.
For him.
Not for Chase. There ain't no way.
No way. All right, who's going to win? Who's Thomas got?
Thomas the guy, KFB winning.
Damn. Who you got, Mitch?
KFB. I got KFB sweeping the weekend.
Oh, damn. Yeah, KFB, I guess, right?
I got Lagana.
Boo.
He's good in Vegas, especially springtime.
Cody said Ross Chastain. I'm going to go with a Hendrick driver. I think the 24 wins this weekend. He was quick last year. I think there's going to be a bounce back.
He does seem to like the third race of the season sometimes.
Yeah. I think Willie B gets it.
I can see that.
That's it for our picks. Anything else you'd like to discuss before we send it off?
Happy to be back after a week off.
Well, yeah, it was fun to be back. Sorry for all the lag and beforehand, but I'm glad that was all figured out before we kept going.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Another good person to watch out for this weekend. And this is just because.
That guy.
I really think you said Brad's gonna suck. I mean, they've really started to turn things around. You can just tell a difference in the year. I think Brad's gonna have a good weekend. That's just.
I don't know. I think this is gonna be the first race where we see them struggle.
And this is where usually the cream rises to the top, you know.
Right.
In the sense of like, who actually has all their stuff together, right? Like, Christopher Bell could be a really big hit this week too.
I could see RFK having a pretty good weekend.
I don't know. I'm excited for this weekend. I love Vegas a lot.
I agree. It's such a fun track.
It's such a racy track. It's not, it's not a driver's track, not really, but it's racy. Like, it's so good. Just a lot of bumps, I don't know. I just love it, man. Either way. Well, what else is I kind of want to talk about the schedule for a little bit. What we got coming up here? We got Phoenix after this.
Yep.
Atlanta, which I'll be there.
Atlanta. Coda.
Coda.
It was early.
Richmond.
Richmond, Bristol,
Bristol
Martinsville.
Dirt. Yeah. Some exciting tracks. I don't really see many boring tracks coming up. I mean, Coda, I think, would be. I think Richmond produces some pretty good racing. Mostly lately, since they reconfigured or repaved it or whatever they've done.
I mean, we already know who's going to win at Coda.
Yeah.
AJ Allmendinger.
AJ, for sure. I mean, that's
most likely.
That's his win number 3.
No, that's going to be his first win. And he's going to move Chastain and Bowman for it.
Payback from last
Coda
year.
Cindric.
I could see Cindric winning.
Can we just talk about my wedding being on Dega? Like, isn't that like freaking exciting?
Are we watching it there?
Yeah, there's definitely a TV on. That doesn't mean like during the ceremony, no, but like.
Well, no, that's fair. But
Kylie just suck it up, bro.
With the AirPod in.
Hey, I'll have it on my phone. I'll be alright.
That's okay. I expect it. I want it. I want someone to have it on their phone.
I want it.
Ooh, Nashville's a night race this year.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
I think Chicago might be going into the night. The Chicago Street Course is going to be going into the night. It looks like also.
What time do they start?
5:30. Atlanta's going to be a night race.
What's the date? What's the date for that?
July 2nd.
No, that won't. It'll be pretty. It might be a little dusky, but
Well, race one ends around like 8. So yeah, a little dusky. Yeah, Atlanta's gonna be a night race. Like that's one thing. Oh man, I wish we had more night races, dude. I love them. I love night races.
Yeah, can we?
I wish Atlanta wasn't a super speedway.
But it is a night race. I think that's gonna be tricky. I feel like how much banking that track's got and everybody together like that. That should be interesting for visibility.
You know, we're going to the Chicago Street Course. I mean, call it Chicago
AJ.
Downtown.
We'll win.
At night.
Tyler Reddick.
AJ.
Tyler Reddick.
AJ.
You're telling me a
AJ.
Michael Jordan car is not winning in Chicago?
I mean, why would it? Put someone talented
Money.
behind it, maybe.
Reddick.
Yeah, I was about to say, what is it?
No, yeah, you're right. You're right. But Reddick is gonna go winless this season. He's not gonna have a good season.
Oh,
Kevin's
So
going
far,
on
not
this
so good.
again.
That's what's in my playoff predictions.
But I just wanted to look at the schedule a little bit. I just want to see what was coming up. Because, like, I don't know. I'm excited. I really want to know who's going to win all these races. Like, I'm
Point of watching, bro.
I know. I'm thrilled.
I need to buy Homestead tickets.
I need to. You know what would be a fun thing to do?
Go to a race.
Man.
Yeah, me too. I wish I could go to one.
Yeah, I want to go to Homestead. I'd like to go to
No, I want to go to Dega.
Well, Homestead's closest for me, and it's playoff race again. So like, I really want to go. What the heck?
Kevin Harvick championships are coming.
Jesus.
I can't.
All right, so we're gonna end the stream off here. Thank you for watching. We had some pretty decent viewers. Obviously, it was my family, but it's still like we had a consistent viewership. 6 viewers in total.
Heck yeah.
Through the whole stream, so that's just.
I could have been one, but I chose not to be.
That's 3.
Was
that's
one
three
for like
now.
5 seconds.
I wanted to give us an accurate showing of who's showing up.
Either way, I appreciate that, and if you're watching after the live, I'm glad that you are watching.
Tune in next week.
Yeah.
Tune in next week. Yeah, we'll talk about Vegas. See if our picks were right. See if Kyle Busch does a three-peat.
Maybe we'll share a laugh.
Maybe we'll share a laugh. Maybe AJ
Maybe.
will win.
Just baby.
Either way, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you're new. I'm not weird. Anyways, peace out.
Yeah, you are.